Hello, it's Making Up the Numbers with another video, and we've got two races today, Group 4 and Group 3 cars in Daily Race B and C. 1, 2, B or C, oh, I can't remember. So qualifying 8th, and you'll notice that I've gone up to S on my sportsmanship rating, which changes things actually for the better, in that people are a lot more respectful. And actually, you know, D is the general skill level, but people aren't trying to ram you off the track or chuck it up the inside and ram you off that way, and it's all just a lot more respectful and better. So as we start off in the Jag, one thing I did notice about this track is that the Jag is quite a big car, and there's not a lot of opportunities to overtake on here. You kind of have to take your opportunity as they come. There's only really one proper overtaking opportunity, that's down the long straight at the back, if you can get close in to somebody's slipstream and overtake them. So it's difficult from that perspective. And just into the first proper corner, not a lot of chaos, but a bit of battling, which lets me close up and get into the slipstream of Gran Turismo 501. What's 501? I'm not sure. Into this section of the track, which is great fun. Just speeding through a little bit, as the guy in 7th has a bit of an off, allowing me to close right up in. So yeah, this bit of the track is great fun. It's really satisfying to link these corners together if you can. Although if you get it wrong, you're punished quite significantly, which does happen. Well, it doesn't happen in this race. It happened a few times in qualifying for me, and I dare say some people behind us as we go along having similar troubles in more bunched up pack. So this is the long straight that I was talking about, where if you're close in, you can have an overtaking opportunity if you can get close enough. And the difficulty I found is that you're going quite fast around here, so getting this braking zone right is quite tricky, because you can fly off into there like that guy's just done. And I get to take 7th position at the end of the first lap, or one corner before the end of the first lap. So going into lap 2, with him right up the chuff, we've made up one position and haven't dropped significantly from the leading pack, but there is a bit of a split. So just skipping forward onto that long straight in lap 2. And this is what I'm talking about overtaking, because there's not a lot I can do here. He's in my slipstream, and I think his car's faster than McGann. And so actually I just slow up a little bit, mainly so I can get this corner right and not be a bit distracted, knowing that actually I started in 8th, and if I can finish in 8th, that's nothing lost, and if I can finish in 7th, is something gained. So happy for him to overtake me there, rather than fight him and hopefully have a bit more of a battle on the last lap round. So starting on to lap 3, just in a moment, going over the line, do it at 2:21, and just skipping forward slightly up onto the end really. And I think he's a different guy, the guy in the Porsche. There is a different guy, goes all wrong, and I get to take 7th position, although slightly distracted, brake a little bit too early, and a little bit of a nudge, but nothing too significant, and finish that race having gained one position into 7th, which is great, and very happy with that. No massive handbags, kind of uneventful, but satisfying nonetheless, and making some progress. Additionally, also having a clean race with the door number of 11, so if the theory is right, up 4 places from where the game predicted that I would finish. So that's good, although in the next race, in this one, I'm door number 1 after qualifying in 14th, so that theory doesn't really hold a lot of water. This is Sardinia, this is the next one. I actually raced this before the previous race, hence why my SR rating is A. And starting, as I said, in 14th in the McLaren. So this was the longer race, and with a bit of a pit stop strategy. I don't think you had to worry too much about tyres. Although towards the end they probably would have been running out, but fuel is definitely a contributing factor. So throughout this it's just when do you dip in after lap 7 or lap 8. I was going to leave that just to my feelings really, as to at the end of lap 7 where's the pack, am I going to pop out in traffic or do I leave it another lap into 8. So brake slightly early for this corner and let the guys have all the chaos and gain a position as everyone goes spinning off the track, with the guy in 10th having a penalty. It is a bit of a battle all the way through this first lap, as I'm forced round wide really, although it was a bit of a force because he was on the inside line and my mistake, into this long sweeping corner and get on the power nice and early, as there's a bit of a crash and he gets himself a 4-second penalty and I take 11th position, having started in 14th. So that's not even a lap done up 3 by just not fighting. And this got there far too fast, as there's all sorts of chaos going on. The guy's had enough and disappears. He's going to go and cry, or whatever you do when you rage quit. Go on the internet and find something else to do. Have an angry old time with yourself, I guess. So coming into the last corner, which is one of those, if you get wrong you do that, and if you get right you can probably get a good run on the start-finish straight, which unfortunately I didn't, but still in 10th and going quite well, with the chap up just 2 seconds to 9th and just over a second to 11th. So the guy in 11th is going to be catching me, and hopefully I'll be catching especially after that I'll be catching up with the guy in 9th, despite not being in the slipstream. So skipping on just later on in the lap, as this chap gives me a little bit of a nudge and takes 10th position, but no, nothing malicious, as I do a purple sector, which is nice, always satisfying. So that was 11th, and then he's all sideways, so that's swiftly up just 1 lap later from 11th into 10th. So going quite well, the race is settled down, people are just into their rhythms I assume, as am I. So skipping on to lap 4 and in 10th still, as he's back again taking the inside line, but I left the door open, so it is a fair move, and we are stuck in 11th from 10th. But that does all change, there's a yellow flag just disappearing, and suddenly I just get 10th position back. I guess it was somebody had a big old crash or something and then decided to quit. So that's alright, I'll happily take 10th, it's fine. So this track, it's great fun as well. There's not a lot of room for error. If you make a big mistake, you either very, very badly damage your corner or just fly off the end, and then you're in trouble. So as I said, lap 7 wasn't really feeling it for me for the pit, so I came in at the end of lap 8 hoping, just crossing my fingers, that I wouldn't pop out in awful traffic or with somebody behind me that wants to ram me, but fortunately that doesn't happen. So nipping in, as I said, yes, so great track, really enjoyed it, and the McLaren, yeah, I love it. Although, as you notice, I forgot to turn off traction control, just didn't realise. So I probably could have actually gone round a bit quicker. But you live and learn, and that's just the way of it. So I just stick in just a wee bit more fuel than actually I need, just so I don't have that bit of anxiety towards the end. You don't need that, and I pop out of the pits in 13th position, with quite a few people ahead of me. Just skip forward a lap and take back 11th. There's a few people still, I assume, left to pit as this guy comes out in 11th and I drop back down to 12th. The German up ahead, PMF082. Now he is awesome, as you'll see quite shortly. We have a great battle, but that's for a bit later. As we just fast forward just a little bit, just to get onto some actual action as opposed to me just driving around like an idiot. as we will soon take up some more positions change again, basically. So he just makes a bit of an error here, goes up onto the grass, slowing him up, which allows me to take 11th position. The problem is now he's right up my chuff. He can smell the fajitas that I had last night from a tee as he's coming up behind me, but for some reason drops some time. I think it's just because the McLaren's faster in a straight line. He is probably faster around the corners, so that's why it's all changed very quickly. And then this guy in 9th, who had just had a bit of a crash, was invisible, and I just go past him, really. Well, at least I thought I did, but I don't. He crashes into me. Oh well, yeah, I do remember now. So we've got the German up behind me in 11th and the Turk up ahead in 9th, who at this point gets it all wrong, and I just go by, really. And the BMF 082, I don't quite know how you pronounce that behind me, with 3 laps to go after this one. So what I'm going to do now is just stop, because what follows is 2 of the most intense laps that I've ever had on Gran Turismo, and it was great fun and deserves its own special bit. So what I'm going to do now is present to you the battle for 9th, and I'll try not to talk too much because it is great. Keep an eye on the time distances and the radar. So my plan, every time I see him on my radar, I'm going to go the inside line, just park it on the apex, blocking. So just defend with my whole being to see if I can survive 2 laps with him right up behind me. And it's worked. The plan so far is working, but nevertheless he's relentless and still up. And I think at one point I genuinely did shout at the screen in true Lord of the Rings style, "You shall not pass," as he was coming up behind me. It was a bit intense and great fun. So carrying on, if you just keep your eye on the radar, you'll see him popping in and out all the time, pressuring me, just hoping, I assume, that I make a bit of a mistake. So coming onto the straight, and I can out accelerate him, so get a bit of a gap. I would expect him to be closing, but it's not. That time's going up, which I was happy about, but being slightly distracted, just missed my brake there slightly. Didn't bin it, but where is it? I thought that he would just be nipping up the inside there, but alas no, he wasn't. I don't know what happened to him. As we continue around the last lap, can I do it? The guys up ahead have already finished, and it's just a matter of waiting for that clock to hit 0, and then I've got 9th position. He's up behind me, I know it. Just concentrate and keep going. Going into this corner, I thought, is he going to chuck it up the inside, but doesn't. As we continue on, hoping that he doesn't find a way past with half a second gap now. So have I done it? Is that enough to fend off for 2 laps? A bit of an attack. Yes, it was. It was really good fun. A bit anticlimactic, really, with the music, but I was hoping it'd be better. So finishing in 9th from a door number 1. Don't know why the game allocated me that, and up 5 positions, which was awesome. And I haven't forgotten. I just thought I'd chuck it in at the end, and it's time for the massive tool award, which this week is kindly sponsored by a pizza restaurant in Woking. And as always, or so far it goes to me, for this set of events. Thanks for watching, take care, bye bye.